to the channel and welcome to me, Whitney. It's a very intuitive channel. So I always like to say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, okay? These are getting a little bit more intense as we get further and further into the occult. So if it doesn't resonate, find another reader. If it does resonate, I'm so fucking happy. You have no idea. So yeah, let's get started. And we're going to pull okay. Everything is changing because now that I've got these new cards, the way the readings are changing. So if you have just found me, it's awesome because we're still not really on like a set thing that we do here. So we are over 900 videos in and we're still learning so much. So I hope, you like it. So we're going to get started here. Let's see what is stepping forward. Okay, quite a bit. Okay, so we've got Paimon, who's kind of leading us today with the Queen of Wands. Teaches arts and sciences, tells everything one desires to know, gives dignities, can make any man subject to one's demands, and gives good familiars. And then we've got Amon and Bure with the Ace of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, reveals the past and future and reconciles friends and enemies, and then teaches philosophy and uses of herbs, heals all diseases and disorders, brings good familiars. I think that's enough. There was 5 more sitting there, and I think these 3 are enough to lead the reading today. Okay. Something about the past. I feel like there's an energy that is, it's going to fill you in on something. Okay. Like, if you want the answer to something, you have to ask the universe and then be receptive to the answer, because the answer isn't always what you think it is. And if you're on a new trend of life and kind of like me, you know, or we're going off of the path that everybody wants us on, and we're going on to the beaten path. We're going on to the path that nobody ever wants to walk down because it looks scary and it looks vulnerable and it looks awful and it looks dark and it looks like things that people don't want to see. They want to see light and bright and color and beautiful. And unfortunately, that's just not the way that life gets given to some of us. We don't get the bright colors and the pretty bells and whistles. We get the bullshit. We get the dark. So there are really 2 types of people out there, right? Ones that live in the dark and ones that live in the light. And that's kind of the only way that you can describe people is either good or bad, right? And then the ones that mix in the middle with their temperance energy that can actually go from good to bad and use both as a tool, not to their advantage, right? So I feel like there could be an energy, okay, that you're going to ask a question, whatever this question is that you've been dying to know. The universe is like, you have to now open up your mind to it, because whatever the truth is about what you're asking, it's an answer that I don't think you want to hear. Okay. But it's part of this disorder that you feel like you have. Okay. So, like whatever, like I'm getting schizophrenia right now. So it's almost like doctors can say that things that are happening to the body are in vain. And there's a right and a wrong to that, because I've seen some of the worst schizophrenic people ever right in front of me. And I've also am subjected to being schizophrenic myself. So, but like the thing is I can have literally full blown arguments with these entities around me. And it's normally like people who I know, okay, and they're trying to like tell me what to do, and they're trying to get me to do things that they want me to do, and I won't do it because it doesn't feel right. I have to do things that feel right, okay? And I went to go do something last night, and I was being pushed to do it, okay? And now that I've noticed, when I'm being pushed to do something because I feel like I'm going to lose my opportunity, that is my sign to walk away from it immediately. Because if you feel like you are going to lose something, so you have to go run and get it, it kind of means like you almost don't have faith that it'll come back around again. Right? Because we can't go chasing after things all the time. Like we can chase our dreams and we can chase our happiness, but after a while you're going to get tired and you're going to be like, I can't be chasing things around anymore. I'm exhausted. And that's what I've realized. Like I have so much energy, but I am exhausted. I am exhausted of this life. I'm exhausted at how hard it is. I'm exhausted at being alone. I'm exhausted of so many things, right? And, but energy wise, I have tons of it. Because there's a difference between being exhausted with your life and having energy. It doesn't have anything to do with energy. It's an exhaustion. Like you can't protect yourself anymore. You know, like you need help. And a lot of people need help. And unfortunately, when you ask for help, it looks weak. And, you know, my parents were always the parents that were like, you know, you can come and ask us for anything and you will always be there for you. And then the minute I actually started asking for things, because there were certain things that I had to do with my health a long time ago that I couldn't really afford because healthcare is really expensive. And the second I asked them for help, they said no. Like, honestly, I couldn't believe it. And I was so happy. We were away at a wedding for my cousin. So my sister was there and we were going out for breakfast in the morning. And surprisingly, my brother and his wife weren't there. She was pregnant at the time. So they got to leave early and they got to go live their lives. Whereas my sister and I had to hang around with my father and stepmother to go out for breakfast in the morning after this wedding. And that's when I asked them, you know, like they were talking about my health, and because I had just been diagnosed with scoliosis and Crohn's disease. And then they found out that why my body's in so much pain is because of my fibromyalgia. So I was like, I needed a lot of like tests and stuff. And one of these tests was going to cost me $150. And I had rent to pay. I had $1,000 rent to pay. I was a fucking full-time server. And I was like slowly breaking down. I didn't have any help and they wouldn't give it to me. My stepmother actually scoffed at me and my sister couldn't believe it. I remember her just putting her head down and eating her food because it was at that point where she was about to lose it. Like everything, she had slowly been watching how manipulative my parents were over me and with my health conditions and that they never helped me. And it just blew her mind because she was married at the time, I believe. So her husband wasn't there because he was a fucking asshole. So he didn't really want to come and do anything. So I think that's why me and her just ended up going together. And, so for the most part, like my sister is very quiet. She's a Gemini. She doesn't speak and she's learning now really how to use her voice because before if she got upset about something, she could freak out about it. Like she's got the rage in her. So she stays really quiet. And I remember driving home after that because I was so used to them abusing me, right? My parents, I was so used to them saying no to me and then, you know, saying in front of people that they would help me. And then as soon as we got away from those people, I'd be like, okay, so when are you going to help me? They'd be like, I'm not helping you. And they literally just said it in front of other people that they were going to do something for me. And then they wouldn't, they'd back out of it, right? They're Indian givers. They really knew how to give things and take it away really, really, really quick. And we were on our way home, and my sister just unleashed. She was like, what the fuck was that all about? Who the fuck says that they're going to help you? And then the second you ask for help, they say no. And she wanted to give me the money for it. And I was like, absolutely not. You're not giving me your money. Like at the time she was in school, so it wasn't even her money. It was her husband's money. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, if they're not going to help me, then I'm not getting it done. Like, fuck that. I'm not going to spend what little money I get. Like, at the time I was serving, so I was making like $7 an hour. Okay. And I was making probably, I don't know, maybe like $600 in tips a week. So I was making a G a week, right? But when you've got your car to pay for, and you've got your apartment to pay for, and you got your life to pay for, and you're a single woman all by yourself, that shit adds up, okay? Like, I bought everything. I paid for everything. My car constantly broke down. I had to fix it all the time. Nobody ever fucking helped me, right? So it's like, and then when I asked for help, because then I was going on disability, and the government was going to help me for a little bit so then I could get my back fixed, and my father said no. He said my disability check and the money that they gave me to go see a chiropractor was all the money that I needed. And I was just used to them being like that. So then when I watched my sister freak out over them not giving me this money, it was like kind of like an eye opener, because when you're so mistreated, and people just keep saying no to you, and when they're your parents and they should be saying yes, because my parents had all the means necessary to help me. They had all the money that they could have to help me. They were not in a distressful situation. They were not going down. I'm pretty sure they were both still working. Okay. So they had full-time jobs. Like, they were fine. Their house was almost paid off. Like, my fucking stepmother was driving a brand new Cadillac, and my father was driving a brand new, I think it was 2013 at the time, brand new fucking GM Sierra. He bought himself a brand new truck, all this shit that even pumps up the tires with a button, blah, blah, blah. He was fucking showing off all these things that they were buying, and asked for $150 and they wouldn't give it to me. While I was driving around in a $4,000 car that was breaking down constantly, that I could barely keep on the road. And there's my parents bawling right in front of me, not helping me at all. And once I realized it's because my stepmother needed to show her money off. She needed to show people how flashy she was. She had to live a different life. And because she hated her life so much, she didn't have the money that she really wanted. She pretended that she did. And that was a huge persona for her, because there was a lot of things that took up her personality that had to, really show her fakeness, because she couldn't be herself because she was trying to be something else. And that was just when her son was starting to work at, this power generation place. So he was starting to make like 80 grand a year or something like that. And she was jealous, she was jealous of her own son. So she was trying to pop out all this money like she was some fucking scholar. And really she wasn't. And she sold her house too soon. She took the buyout too soon. And now she fucked herself. And I honestly, I hope my parents are fucking broke now. Like, I see them driving around this town quite a bit, and he's still driving his truck from 2012 or 13 or 10 or something like that. He's still driving it around. So I know they don't have money, because they spent all their money. Who can have money if you don't go to work? Right? It's not like his pension from GM is $1,000. She was supposed to get a pension from the bank, but she pussed out. She fucking left early. She said she was being bullied by a bunch of people, which is funny because she's a fucking bully. So the fact that she called these coworkers bullies, but then when it came down to it and they did the investigation, she didn't press charges on any of them because they weren't actually bullying her. So she couldn't go through with it. And then she wanted the payout, and then the bank wouldn't pay her out. And then she tried to say that she had Meniere's. Oh, I've got Meniere's. I can't work anymore, but I have Meniere's. Do you know how many people have Meniere's? It's a ringing in your ear, and it gives you this like off balance. It makes me dizzy all the time. Makes me feel like I'm going to pass out, but I go to work. I go to work every fucking day. Here she is fucking acting like Meniere's is going to kill her, and that she had breast cancer 20 years ago, so she's a survivor. No, it was bullshit. Everything she says is bullshit. Everything she goes through is bullshit, but she's living this lie. Okay, she's living this lie. And clearly these demons are fucking bringing it up, okay? I don't know why we're talking about this, but we got to talk about evil people around you, okay? Because honestly, this heals all diseases and disorders, brings good, like, I almost feel like whatever they've put you in, like whatever disease, disorder, something that you feel is wrong with you, it now goes back to the sender. It now goes back to the creator, which is obviously why these demons are coming out to speak right now, because they're trying to tell you that somebody has literally gone into your past and revealed things that you were taught and things that you went through. Okay. And how you were subject to somebody's demands, how somebody had reign over you, basically. Okay. And with Buer, it's like he's bringing your Ace of Cups back to you. It's like your Ace of Cups was stolen from you because it put you under some disease. It gave you something, or it did something to you, and you fell victim to it while they walked away with majority of your life. So what I'm getting is like, this is a huge reconcile. Like, I think you're reconciling with yourself, to be honest. Five of Swords. Venus, Gemini. See, it's like almost like, see, that this is what I'm talking about. It is going to be hard to see because of light, but you see those swords going all around the horse, okay? They're going all around it. Not a single sword is actually piercing this horse, okay? So the way that I see this in interpretation with what's going on, Amadeus, it's like no matter what they did, you just kind of stayed in the middle. And they did what they did all around you, okay? But you just stayed in the middle. And that was a really good trait, because had you had moved, had you had tried to get out, you might have been killed. Right? Because although these people were mentally fucking with you and doing things to you, they also kept you in this bubble so then you didn't move and you didn't get hurt, right? Like the whole point wasn't to kill you, it was to use you. Okay, so now that cord is going to get cut, okay, and they can no longer use you or use your energy. All right, something gets to come back to you now. So it's almost like don't be surprised if all of a sudden, you know, kind of like your arthritis goes away, or if you've got itchy skin or something, that goes away. Like, don't be surprised if something that you feel like is a disorder inside of you or something that you're suffering from kind of starts to go away. Because of your ability to withstand this trauma, okay? Whoa. 7 of Pentacles. Venus with Libra. Vepr. Ooh, okay. There's a pirate ship behind her. I can't show this card because it has boobies on it. It does, and I don't want to put a warning on because it's stupid. So, you know what I think this message is I think while this fucking parade was going on around you, okay, taking your life, taking everything you own, putting you in awful situations, while that was going on, you created something. That's why it was like, there's a reason for me talking about how the horse doesn't have any swords in it, because you just clenched, you know, it's like a turtle shell. You just like went into your power and just stayed there while you knew all of this ruckus was like going on around you. And in that tiny little space, you grew a seed. Okay. Page of Swords. Oh my God, he's even writing underwater. Whoa. Look at how cool this Page of Swords is. Again, a little bit hard to see, but isn't that fucking awesome? Like he's like sitting underwater. He's writing on a scroll. It's fucking sweet. I fucking love these cards so much. Okay, now it's giving me Mercury with Virgo. See? That's what I'm talking about. Like the Alchemist hiding inside and doing your work, right? Tailing something, right? Never letting a moment in time pass you by without working on yourself, this project, whatever it was you were doing, because you had absolutely nowhere to go. So in your tiny little space of going nowhere, you created something so amazing. And I think that's what gets to show now. There's Judgment. The North Node with Venus. This was almost like guaranteed to be very hard to do. Okay? It was very hard to get away from this Queen of Wands. Okay? This teacher that was around you, okay, which is why you went inwards and it's like retaught yourself, okay? Don't be surprised if you start really getting into herbs and like inner healing and drinking very grounded, beautiful teas and awesome energy. Like we are bursting into spring, so don't be surprised if the trees just begin to speak to you, okay? And you notice all the color and the life again, because I think you've been let go, right? I think that's the whole point of these demons, is what they're telling you, is that you've been let go. 4 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Fornius, okay? As you can see, someone has been very tightly holding on to your money, or very tightly holding on to your pentacles, okay? Very tightly holding on to something, and it now has to be released, okay? That's this Judgment. That's what Payman, Eamon, and Buer want to talk about, is they're connecting with the fact that this is a judgment, okay? You will unlearn what these people have taught you, okay? Murmur, the Empress. Venus with Sagittarius. That's the Temperance. You really learned how to balance your energy within very hostile, ungrounded situations. And I don't know if you were that kind of person, when something kind of jumps off around you, you panic, you get that anxiety because you don't know what to do. That you have changed that energy in you. And the reason why you were like that is because somebody taught you that when there's a panic, you're to panic. So then somebody comes and saves you. These people always expect somebody to come and save them when they freak out. Now, you're not going to get like that. You're not going to freak out because you're not looking for somebody to come and calm you down, because you can't take care of yourself. You can't control yourself. You now can control yourself. You're going to unlearn what this person taught you on how to be like a distressed person. Okay, to get what you want, perhaps. 6 of Cups. Yeah, this is definitely... So it's definitely a contract with somebody. 9 of Swords. Yeah. Venus with Taurus. The Hierophant energy. Barbatos. Honestly, I do think that this is something that there's that chest again. This is somebody having power over you. 4 of Cups. And not really leaving you with much. Not really leaving you with much. Not much to go off of. Not much to have. Not much to be around. Really just like hanging you out to dry all by yourself. And leaving very little for you. That's how I feel. Leaving very little. And that's why it's like, honestly, now I'm getting almost somebody who's trying to like leave a husband secretly or leave a relationship secretly, right? You're trying to put your money together because this person has held on to everything, and because they're the ones that make the paychecks, they feel like they've got control of everything. And those are very, very greedy, awful people to be around. That kind of energy is not fun, okay? To be around people who feel like because they make the money, they control it all. When if you have a family, yes, you have to control your spending, but no, you cannot take your money away from people or say that because you make it, you are in full control of it, right? That's not how money survives. That's not how money is made. That's not really how money even likes it. Money likes to constantly come in and leave your life. It's like, it's an energy flow, right? You can't hang on to every single dime that you make because you have to survive. And I mean, literally a $50 bill fell in front of my feet yesterday. I completely forgot about this. Fell at my feet, and there was a man sitting right there, and his hand was in his pocket. And I bent down, I picked up the bill, and I looked at him, and I go, "Did you drop this?" And he goes, "Oh, you don't even want to know what I have in my right pocket," because he had money in his left and his right pocket because his wife was leaving this company. So people had given them money, right? As like a farewell. Hope you're doing great. You know, here's some money, you know, buy yourself something nice. And so he had money in both of his pockets, and it was his $50 bill. And let me tell you, because it came back into my hand about 2 hours later, and that's how I knew it was his money, because he had money on him. And he didn't go to the bank. He stayed there the whole time. I watched him. So I know that money was in his pocket. And I said to myself, like, I could have bent down, put it in my pocket. He never would have noticed. But at the same time, I was like, what's $50 going to do for me? Is it going to change my life? Right? Is it going to buy me a Lamborghini? Is it going to let me retire tomorrow? No. So I'm just going to return it. There is no point. There is, even as broke as I'm not broke. I can't say that I'm broke, but even with as little money that I do have in this world, okay, I still don't feel like $50 is worth taking, even though it was laying right in front of me. It technically wasn't, I wasn't thieving. I didn't steal it. You know, I didn't ask for it to jump out of his pocket, and it wasn't a temptation. It was, okay, whose $50 bill is this? And I even flashed it to the whole table, because there was this whole table sitting there. So I knew it was somebody's money. And, but not a lot of people carry cash on them. That's the thing, right? So like, I kind of was like, okay, if this is the only $50 that he's got in his pocket, I know that I just gave somebody a $50. And because there was a lot of people coming in and out for this party, like there was like fucking 30 people for this party. So people were coming and going, and like, who knows who dropped a $50 bill out of their pocket? It was some dudes. That's all I know. Right. But it came back. It wasn't a temptation. It jumped back in my pocket. And you know what? Honestly, the way that I saw it, there were so many things in my head telling me to just take it. And like, why would I do that? I myself would never take it. But the temptation of being able to take things right in front of you because they're just being flaunted, no one's watching, right? That's where you have to defeat certain devils, okay, that do want to get you in trouble. They do want to hurt you. There are demons in this deck that fucking hate people, okay? And they're not here to like people. That's the thing. They're not here here to light people. They are here to do other things, okay? Create justice, to take people down. I'm sure a lot of them are in cops. I'm sure a lot of them are in lawyers, okay? Trying to defeat things that are harming other things in this world, because you aren't supposed to harm anything, okay? That's not the way this works. Even if you go to kill an animal to eat, right? It's sacrifice. You give half back to the land. You appreciate it, right? You don't just steal things or take things because you have the opportunity to do so, right? It's like humans have to pass that level, and then once you pass that level, the world can just easily give you things because they know that whatever crosses your path, if it's not yours, you'll find the owner, and if it doesn't have an owner, you will occupy it, take it up, or take care of it and not ask for anything in return. So I think that you did a really good job at making yourself better in a position where people usually go worse. So, take it how it resonates and leave what does not resonate. Okay. For personal readings, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. If not, just enjoy the channel. We are doing the monthly subscriptions. Okay. We're going to start doing some how-to videos up in that, along with the heavy personals. All right. So if that's something that you think intrigues you, go on, check it out. Members, we are going to do a lot coming up with the memberships soon. I really, really, really hope putting it out there to the universe to make sure it gets done. All right. Anything else? Oh, thanks for the comments and your subscribes and your likes, your emails, everything that you do. I'm so happy with this channel. I'm so happy how it's turning out, and I'm really grateful for all of you. So thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out. And, yeah, have a really, really awesome weekend. And if I never see you again, sayonara. And to those I will see again, I will be posting another video shortly. Peace out, everybody.